guys, welcome back to my channel. This week's video is going to be a little bit different. I have actually decided to go get my eyebrows done. So I wanted to show you guys what my eyebrows look like before with makeup on. So that way you have like a starting point of what my eyebrows look like. So I have thought about getting my eyebrows done for a couple of years, but I've always been a little bit nervous, and I kind of feel like I'm pretty good at doing my own eyebrows at this point. So I was kind of like, I don't really need it. But my mom had offered to pay for it a couple of years ago, and I finally decided to take her up on that offer. So let's go ahead and jump into the vlog. I have my numbing gel on, so I'm numbing for 15 to 20 minutes right now. All right, I'm all measured out and she waxed around them, so we're gonna start.
Does it hurt?
No, it feels almost like a scratching.
Okay. You'll be able to get ready for work 10 minutes faster.
My brows don't usually take me 10 minutes, but... Very good. Okay, so I just finished up and this is what they look like. They look really good. They are slightly thinner than I usually do my brows. So I am going to see how I like them over the next few weeks, and then when I go back for my touch-up, if I want them to be a little bit thicker, I'll just have her add some more strokes in. But they look good. They feel pretty good. It's kind of like a slight stinging feeling right after, but now they feel pretty good because you put some ointment on them. Alright, you guys, we are in the car right now, so I figured I would just do a quick update for you guys. Please don't mind the stack of mattresses behind me right now. But it has been, it's about 24 hours later since I've had my brows completed. So I just wanted to show you what they look like now. So they have been washed twice with water and gentle cleanser, and then right now I just have like the Vaseline ointment stuff that they gave me, and I did put a little bit of makeup on like my face, not on my eyebrows. As you can see, I didn't take it up nice and close to them, just around them. But they look pretty good. The only thing that I'm noticing is I think when I go in for my touch-up, I will have her add a couple of just like strokes like straight up at the beginning of my brow, because that's normally what I do like when I pencil them in. But they look pretty good. I have no pain or discomfort or anything like that. So I'll give you an update in a couple of days. Alright, you guys, it has been 6 days since I had my eyebrows microbladed, so I wanted to give you an update on how they are doing. So I do need to put a little bit of ointment on them, but I want to show you what they look like They don't have anything in them or on them. And this is what they look like. They are healed very nicely. So I asked you guys over on my Instagram if you guys had any questions about me getting my eyebrows done, and nobody asked any questions. However, I was asked some questions in person, so I'm going to address those for you guys, so you have some answers, and you know, and maybe questions that you have that you didn't really think about. So but first off, let's start with how the process went. So I arrived at the salon, and the first thing she did, she checked me in, and then she put on the numbing ointment. So it's just like a numbing cream that they put over your eyebrow area, all around your eyebrow area. And then she put like a saran wrap over top, like to, I'm assuming, just like hold it in, keep it clean. I don't really know why, but that's my guess. And for that, I was sitting in like a pedicure chair, so I got to have a massage while I was numbing up, which was kind of nice. It kind of eases you a little bit before you go in to have this all done. So she left that on for about 20 minutes. And then after that, she did the brow mapping. So that's where they go and they take like basically like liner pencil, and they draw out where like the center is, the center this way, where your arch is, where your tail is, where it starts. And she draws that all out. And while she's doing that, she takes a picture on her phone, and then has, I don't know if it's like an app or what, but she has this thing on her phone where she's able to move the lines to make sure that everything is perfectly symmetrical. So she lines up the arches on both points, or on both brows, to make sure that they're at the same height, but also the same distance out from the center of your face. Same with tail, same with beginning of the brow, same with underneath of your arch. All of that she maps out, so that she makes sure everything is correct, everything's symmetrical. And then once she gets that, sorry for the cat. Once she gets that all done, she draws out the shape. So she actually does an outline of the brow, so that you have an idea of what it's going to look like. So once she had that done, she showed me, I approved it, and then she waxed the excess hair around, just so that it was nice and clean, so that way when she went in, she wasn't going off, you know, those hairs that were like too low or too high. She was going off the hairs that were actually there, but she still had that outline as well. So that was how she got everything drawn out, waxed, and then it was time to go lay down and start the process. So for the next step, I moved into a separate room, onto like a massage table kind of, laid down on that face up, and then she started putting shades on me to see which shade would be the correct shade for my skin tone, my hair, everything. So we picked a shade, and then she showed me, they have like a chart which has people's like hair color and skin tones on it, and shows like the recommended colors. So she had put medium brown and dark brown on me at first, and then I picked medium brown. Then she showed me the chart with the hair color and skin tone, and it recommended light brown or medium brown for myself, and I'm somebody who likes a little bit of a darker brow because I don't naturally have a darker brow, but if I'm filling in my brows, I want you to be able to see them. I don't want to just have blonde eyebrows. So we ended up going with the medium brown. At first I was a little bit concerned that it was gonna be too warm, but as it has healed, it has gotten ashier or cooler in tone. And I think that the shade is like perfect. Like the medium brown is definitely what I wanted to go with. Okay, so just to give you a brief overview of some questions that I think you guys might have. The first thing is I got this done at HD Nails and Microblading. It's in West Des Moines, and it was super easy to get to. It's a salon that offers several services, but really their two main services are nails and microblading. Also, there were a lot of people getting their lashes done, so I think lashes is kind of high up on their service list as well. But the cost. So the cost of it was $350. I know that seems like a lot, but that's actually way cheaper than other places that I've seen it for. I've seen it for up to $500, and I'm sure in bigger cities it just is even more than that. 500 is probably like the starting level. But that includes the initial service as well as a touch-up 3 to 4 weeks after the initial service. I am not going for my touch-up in 3 weeks. I'm probably gonna go in 5 to 6 because I am going on vacation on the 4-week mark. And we talked about it. I didn't think that it would be a good idea to have basically a fresh tattoo when I'm going to the beach and going to be in sun, sand, salt water. All of that sounds like it could be a recipe for disaster. So I'm going to do mine a little bit later. So at my touch-up appointment, I do have a couple of things that I want to add. I think that this brow in the front half is slightly like narrower than this one is, so I am going to have her kind of beef this one up a little bit. And then the other thing that I'm going to have her do is add a couple of just like hair strokes that are straight up in the front part of the brow, because when I pencil my brows in, I do give them kind of more of that squared shape than rounded, which is kind of what they are right now. So I'm just gonna have her do that for me at that appointment. So the other thing that people have been asking me is, did it hurt? So I will say they give you the numbing cream, but the numbing cream doesn't work super well. It's not like you're not gonna feel anything when they put the numbing cream on. Also, we had kind of like a lengthy, like there was a large time gap between removing it and starting it because she wanted to go over everything with me. We had to pick the colors, all of that. So it didn't help that much, I'm gonna be honest. But I will say that if you guys have tattoos, you'll be fine. It definitely doesn't hurt as much as getting a tattoo, but I also didn't think that getting tattoos hurt that much unless it was like on a bone. But basically it feels like somebody is scratching you. That's what it feels like. It feels like somebody's scratching you in a small area, but like over and over and over again. I know that sounds like absolutely awful, but it was not. And the actual process itself was very quick. So it takes a while because you got to go over all like the pre-instructions and everything, and then the aftercare after, like the after instructions. You have to pick out your color, you have to numb up, you have to do all that. So it took about 2 hours, but the actual microblading itself did not take long at all, like maybe 20 minutes. That's what it felt like. I didn't like time it or anything, but that's what it felt like. So I would say that it didn't hurt. It wasn't the most comfortable feeling though. You may have a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling. And also my eyes did start to water a little bit, but I think that was just kind of from when she had to like kind of rest on them to get in the like lower part. So I don't even think that was from the microblading. I think that was just from a little bit of pressure on my eye. But I'm sure if you needed to take a break, they would like give you a minute to like take a breather and then get back to it. But really it does not take that long. So it's one of those things where you're kind of like, just tell yourself that it's going to be over soon and you'll be able to get through it. Okay, and the last question that I can think of that people may ask is how long does this last? So that really varies person to person. It depends on your skin type. It depends how often you wash your face, and how well you do that initial aftercare. So I think that I will probably be on like the lower end of how long it will last, because I am somebody who washes my face all the time with wearing a lot of makeup. So I don't know how long it will actually last. I'm hoping a long time, so I am going to make more of a conscious effort to try to avoid my brow area when I'm doing like deep scrubs and stuff like that, to hopefully make it last a longer period of time. So I think most places they say like 6 months is the shortest that it will last. But then I've heard like it can last for years. So it really just depends person to person and how well you take care of it. One thing that I wanted to let you guys know is when you go to their Instagram, if you do, which I will link down below, they have done a lot of like, I don't know what you would call it, like cover-ups. So like 15 years ago, about, the whole like going and getting tattooed makeup was like a serious trend, and people would go get their eyebrows tattooed. Well, that was more of like a draw a line or draw like the shape and then shade it in like an actual tattoo. This is, they are doing flicks. So it's like hair-like strokes rather than shading. So my mom was actually one of those people that went and got her eyebrows tattooed, and she did not really like it. The color was just a little wrong. They're just, yeah, not a good idea. I don't recommend it. So she was somebody who went there and got the microblading as to kind of resolve her bad tattoo issue, and it definitely looks better. So if you are looking at some of those pictures, you'll probably be like, that looks a little weird. That's probably because they still have their tattoo in there, and then they went in and did the hair strokes on top of it. So obviously it's a tattoo, it's not going to go away unless you laser it off, which that just sounds awful near your eyes than just awful in general. So if you are somebody who got a tattoo and do not like it, this may be something to consider. But that's all that I can think of for questions that you guys may have. Like I said, if you think of any questions, just go ahead and leave them in the comment section below and I will answer them as they come in, and hopefully get all those questions answered for you guys, so you have a good idea of if you want to do this or not. But that's all I had for this week's video, so thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.